Hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Before starting the video, please subscribe and keep watching for more details videos. Mariah may shocked the wrestling world last week by debuting in WWE NXT. But it wasn't just the WWE universe who were surprised to see the former AEW star. May made her appearance in grand fashion as the lights went out. She revealed she stood up on a platform and made it clear that she wanted a shot at the WWE NXT Women's title. However, the current champion, Jacy Jayne, thought she was someone else entirely. Jacy Jayne thought she was dealing with Tiffany Stratton. Jayne is currently dealing with challenges from all areas of the WWE NXT roster, with various wrestlers making it clear they wanted a shot at the gold last week when May made her debut. That's one of the reasons why she was surprised to see May. In fact, the former Toxic Attraction member actually thought she was Tiffany Stratton as she revealed to Busted Open Radio. So at first, I thought it was Tiffany. I was like, oh my, Tiffany's here. But then I was like, okay, well, she doesn't have a title. Can't be Tiffany. But I'm excited, you know? I welcome anybody to our division. Let's see if you can hang with our division. And it's just another shot for me to show everyone that I'm better. Stratton wasn't making her return to WWE NXT in this moment. And instead, it was May making her presence known as she targeted Jayne straight away. Mariah May has already been repackaged in WWE. Unsurprisingly, WWE has already renamed May, opting to repackage her completely as she will now be known as Blake Monroe. This is something WWE typically does for many new stars being brought in from other promotions, as it allows them to put their stamp on a talent. A video package was shared to showcase what people can expect from Monroe, with fans getting an idea of the glamour that is involved in her character, which is unlike many other members of the roster. It was also confirmed that she will be appearing on the show next week on WWE NXT, where she will sign her official contract for the brand. However, it still remains to be seen when the ex-AEW star will be making her in-ring debut for WWE. She made it clear that the WWE NXT Women's title is something that she wants to hold, though, and that could be a sign of things to come, with a collision against Jayne potentially being in the plans. When Mariah May finally made her long-awaited WWE debut, fans expected fireworks, and they got them, just not in the way they imagined. Amid the flashing lights, roaring crowd, and electric anticipation, one moment from her grand entrance took center stage across social media. An NXT star, in a moment of genuine bewilderment, mistook Mariah May for Tiffany Stratton. Yes, that Tiffany Stratton, the pink-powered, sparkly, and unmistakably glam wrestling star with a signature buff Barbie flair. The mix-up may seem surprising at first glance, but when you take a step back and look at the aesthetic Mariah May brought to her WWE debut, the confusion begins to make some sense. Both women share more than a few traits: platinum blonde hair, an affinity for glitzy gear, and a larger-than-life aura that can dazzle even the most seasoned superstar. But this was no ordinary case of mistaken identity. It was a comedy of errors that exposed the chaotic, fast-paced, and often absurd nature of WWE's ever-expanding universe. Here's how it all went down, and why fans can't stop talking about it. The glam arrival. Mariah May, a breakout star in the UK and Japan indie circuits and a fan favorite from her time in AEW, had long been rumored to be heading to WWE. When she finally appeared, walking through the curtain with charisma dripping from every step, rocking sparkling gear and that unmistakable confident strut, it was clear she was ready for the big leagues. The commentary team hyped her up, fans in the crowd erupted, and backstage talent watched the monitor closely. One of them, a rising NXT star who shall remain nameless, although social media sleuths are pretty sure they've narrowed it down, saw her on the screen and reportedly blurted out, "Wait, Tiffany's back already?" Cue the confusion. Twinning at the turnbuckle. To be fair, at a quick glance, especially from a distance or on a monitor, it's not entirely implausible to confuse the two. Mariah may had chosen gear that night that bore a passing resemblance to Tiffany Stratton's WrestleMania look. Add in the lighting, the makeup, and the signature "I own this ring" posture, and suddenly the WWE locker room had a case of unintentional twinning on its hands. Of course, the NXT star's comment didn't stay backstage for long. Another superstar overheard it and posted a laughing emoji-filled tweet hinting at the mishap. Fans pounced, speculation ran wild, and the moment was immortalized in GIFs and memes before the match even ended. "Mariah May? I thought that was Tiffany Stratton," became an instant meme. Wrestling fans, never ones to miss a chance for a laugh, even began creating side-by-side comparison graphics, mock Find the Differences games, and parody theme songs that blended both women's entrances into one. May responds with style. To her credit, Mariah May took the confusion in stride and used it as fuel. "I guess I made a Stratton GIC first impression," she tweeted the next day, complete with a winking emoji and a side-by-side of her entrance and Tiffany's pass gear. It was cheeky, clever, and perfectly on brand for someone who understands the game inside and outside the ring. Tiffany Stratton, never one to be outdone, quote retweeted with, "There's only one buff Barbie, babes. But you looked cute nail polish. The playful back and forth only fueled rumors that the two might be on a collision course, whether in NXT, SmackDown, or at a future premium live event. Fans immediately began fantasy booking a Battle of the Blondes storyline, imagining a feud dripping with glitter, jealousy, and perfectly timed super kicks. WWE's golden opportunity. Behind the scenes, creative minds in WWE reportedly loved the reaction. The mix-up, while accidental, highlighted an exciting new dynamic. Two alpha female personalities with overlapping glam aesthetics, but very different wrestling styles. It wasn't just about the look. It was about identity, perception, and how presentation can shape storyline. There's a real opportunity here. WWE thrives on rivalry, and this one has the potential to be both comedic and compelling. Think The Miz versus John Morrison, but in stilettos and with higher stakes. Or Trish Stratus versus Mickie James, with a modern social media-fueled twist. The company has already leaned into mistaken identity storylines in the past. Remember when Edge impersonated John Cena just to mess with him? Or when Los Guerreros pulled mask switcheroos? The Mariah/Tiffany situation could play out in similar fashion, especially if WWE allows them to blur reality with fiction. Imagine Mariah May being introduced for a backstage segment, only for the interviewer to say, "Tiffany?" And she just freezes, rolls her eyes, and storms off. Or better yet, a tag match where Mariah accidentally gets Tiffany's theme music and uses it to her advantage. Beyond the blonde, underneath all the jokes, though, lies something more interesting. The confusion speaks to the archetypes WWE often plays with, especially with female performers. The blonde bombshell trope has existed for decades, from Trish and Tori to Charlotte and Liv. But stars like Mariah May and Tiffany Stratton are evolving that archetype. They're not just pretty faces. They're technicians, athletes, and performers with strong social media game, international experience, and the ability to connect with fans far beyond their appearance. What may have started as a "she looks like Tiffany" moment is quickly transforming into a "she's not like anyone else" arc. Mariah May's debut, accidental impersonation and all, was ultimately a win. Not just for her, but for the whole WWE women's division. It reminded everyone that in wrestling, even the bloopers can become brilliance, and that sometimes the best storylines start with a little confusion and a whole lot of charisma. Closing bell. In a business built on identity, illusion, and reinvention, Mariah May walked into WWE already blurring lines and stealing scenes. If her debut is any indication, she's here to leave her own mark. Not as the next Tiffany Stratton, but as the first Mariah May. And next time, maybe the NXT locker room will take a closer look before jumping to conclusions. Then again, maybe not. This is WWE, after all. Confusion is half the fun.